Hi, I'm Kizzy Cox, and this is What's the 411, redefining entertainment news, sports, and lifestyle. Now, if you're an up-and-coming filmmaker and you want to hear your name being called on Oscar night one day soon, well, you've come to the right place. Because today we're talking to Malcolm Lee. He's the director of such movies as The Best Man and Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. He's going to be giving us some tips on how to survive in the entertainment industry and also talking about his new movie, Ballers. So let's go check him out. Hi, Malcolm Lee. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to be met.
You know, it's really difficult being a director of any type of stature, but especially as an African American, it's really difficult. So to what do you owe your success?
I just think I've just been fortunate to be placed in good situations and work with good people, from producers to actors to screenwriters to marketing teams that have promoted the films, and thankfully audiences that have come to see my movies. I mean, you know, my films wouldn't have any kind of success if people didn't come see them and we didn't have a desire to see those movies. So I think I owe a lot of that. All of that encompasses is in my success.
I'm glad you mentioned that because, you know, there's a thing where they say, you know, we don't really make movies for black people because black people don't come out and support black movies. So what do you say to that?
I think, unfortunately, in large part, that's true, especially as of late. I think back in the late 80s and early 90s, there was so few filmmakers who were making movies, and going to like a Spike Lee movie, this is my cousin, going to one of his movies was an event. And you know, people were galvanized and really wanted to come see those movies. And there was a big explosion of not only film but television that happened in the 90s with black movies and black soundtracks and black television. So that was a great time. I think, you know, since then, I'd say like as in the early 2000s through now, it's been kind of hit and miss when in terms of African American movies. And I think that that's in large part due to some of the movies that have been made and also some of the audiences that have not supported those movies. I think, you know, unfortunately, our community has a tendency to bootleg a lot of movies, or I'm not saying they're not.
They're like mad at home. They're like, "What you talking about?"
They don't bootleg the movies. We don't bootleg the movies themselves, but we buy them. You know, we buy them in the barbershops, in the beauty shops. We buy them on the street, 125th Street, whatever. And it disproportionately hurts our movies because we don't have the same number of screens that mainstream movies do. And if we don't show that we're supporting them in the box office, which is how the studios decide they're going to make a movie or not, they're not going to. If they're not supported there, they're not going to get supported. They're not going to make any more of them.
Okay, I think that's a really, really good point. So stop bootlegging, stop doing that.
Yes, stop the bootlegs. Stop the bootlegs.
So what do you think an up-and-coming filmmaker needs to do to get ahead? Should they be making movies for black people, about black people, or should they just try to mainstream themselves? Like, how should they maneuver that?
I think any filmmaker coming out today is going to do a movie that they feel passionate about, a story that they feel passionate about telling. Doesn't matter if it's for black people or for white people or whoever. I mean, I think you do have to have a kind of a vision for who the movie is for, because that's always going to be the question, like, who's the audience for this movie? But you have to tell a story that you're going to be passionate about, because it's going to take more than a year of your life to try to tell that story. So you don't want to spend a year of your life doing something that you're like, I kind of like this. I kind of like this. It's kind of okay. I want to do the next thing. You have to be very, very clear about what you want to do. And yes, you do have to think about what audience is going to come see this movie? Who am I going to get to come see this movie? Because everybody is really concerned so much about familiarity of, like, whether it's an actor, whether it's a concept, whether it's any of those factors that will make you say, you know, I'm going to go out, get a date, and spend my money, go out and get popcorn or whatever else, and go see a movie in front of a bunch of other people. You know, that's a bigger decision than it has been in the past.
Right.
So I think you have to, whatever you're going to decide you're going to do, you have to do it with passion and really decide that this is the story that I want to tell.
Right, regardless of whatever it is that you're telling. Yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned passion and everything. You've got a lot of movies out. They were really funny.
Thank you.
And I'm wondering which movie was the most fun for you to make?
You know, they all had their moments. You know, I would say that Best Man was certainly a great experience, a unique experience. Because
I love that movie.
Thank you. It was my first movie. It was I don't really have any horror stories to tell. We were all the actors, me, the producers, we're all kind of like in a place in our careers where we're either just starting out or hungry and had a desire to really tell stories about African Americans that hadn't been told before, in a way that hadn't been told before. So that was exciting. And then, you know, Welcome Home Roscoe Jenkins was a lot of fun to make because, I mean, I got to cast everybody that I wanted to cast in the movie. I wrote it for specific actors, and I got all the actors that I wanted. So, you know, that was a thrill. And there were other movies that are, you know, they're all difficult because they're all hard to make because it's a real marathon making a movie. It's not like something you can do quickly, and it's going to take you a number of months and years to make it happen.
Especially since you have to work with so many different types of people. So it's not just something you can do by yourself.
No, no. You gotta be able to manage personalities and, you know, be a people person and talk to people and express what you want from not only your actors but your art department, your director of photography, from your producers, from your editor. So it's a lot of work involved, and you have to rely on a lot of people who have more experience than you do.
Right. So what would you say is your advice? You touched upon a little bit before, you know, being passionate about your stories and all that. What would your advice be to up-and-coming filmmakers?
Besides being passionate about what you do, I mean, if you're fortunate enough to get in a position to make a movie, make sure that you hire people who are going to help you out. Don't just hire your friends. Hire people who are going to be better than you and have more experience than you at doing their job, doing the job that they do, and let them do their job.
But you know what, that's a big thing, because to hire people you need money. And a lot of people don't have the money, so they're like, that's where they kind of run into the obstacles. So how do you get around that?
Hire your friends and family. Get them to work for you for free. You know, I mean, it's however you can get it done, you know, just by hook or by crook, just get it done. If it's a story you want to tell, and you have so many more means of distribution nowadays for people to see what you want to say. I mean, YouTube.
I'm glad you said that.
You know, there's tremendous opportunities for filmmakers. If you have something that you want to say, you can get it out there and be seen.
Okay, and I can't let you go without having you talk about your next movie, Ballers.
Well, we're working on the script for Ballers. It's with LeBron James and Universal Pictures and Imagine Entertainment. I did Undercover Brother with that same group. We hope to shoot this summer. We're hoping. Fingers crossed.
Well, thank you so much, Malcolm. I look forward to seeing it. And thank you.